The tradition of Tết Thanh Minh, the clear and bright festival, has long been a significant and sacred occasion in the consciousness of the Vietnamese people. Rooted in the principle of remembering the source when drinking water, Tết Thanh Minh holds a special place as a time for Vietnamese people to return to their ancestral roots, honoring and paying respects to their departed loved ones, even if they are far away due to work or other obligations. Though not as grand as other festivals, Tết Thanh Minh is deeply intertwined with ethics and the duty of Vietnamese individuals to remember and honor the sacrifices of their ancestors. It serves as a collective memorial day, allowing people to express their gratitude and repay the debt of gratitude to their forebears. Tết Thanh Minh carries the significance of acknowledging one's origins, reminding people not to forget their ancestral homeland. In many regions, Tết Thanh Minh is combined with the cold food festival Tết Hàn Thực, traditionally celebrated on the third day of the third lunar month. However, Tết Thanh Minh follows the solar calendar rather than the lunar calendar, typically falling on the fourth or fifth day of the fourth month. Customs such as cleaning graves, making offerings, burning incense, and placing offerings of fruits are integral parts of this important festival. Origin of Tết Thanh Minh. Tết Thanh Minh originates from China. Legend has it that during the time of King Tấn Văn Công, the Ten Kingdom faced turmoil, forcing the king into exile. It was during this time that a virtuous man named Giới Tử Thôi assisted the king with his wisdom. Once, while fleeing, they ran out of food, and Giới Tử Thôi had to secretly cut a piece of his own thigh to cook for the king. Upon discovering this, the king was deeply moved by his selflessness. After reclaiming his kingdom, Tấn Văn Công rewarded many but forgot the contributions of Giới Tử Thôi. Unfazed, Giới Tử Thôi returned home to live in seclusion with his mother. When the king remembered and sought to reward him, Giới Tử Thôi refused to leave his hideout. Despite the king's attempts to force him out, both Giới Tử Thôi and his mother perished in the fire. In remembrance, the king ordered a shrine to be built and decreed that people refrain from lighting fires for 3 days, only consuming cold food from the third to the fifth day of the third lunar month annually. Since the Lai dynasty, the Vietnamese people have adopted Tết Hàn Thực, albeit with modified significance, reflecting the traditional values and daily life of the Vietnamese. On this day, while fire is not prohibited, people consume cold dishes like bánh trôi floating cakes and bánh chay vegetarian cakes, symbolizing cold food. Hence, Tết Hàn Thực is also known as the Cold Food Festival. Grave visiting tradition. For the Vietnamese, Tết Thanh Minh is an occasion to remember and honor ancestors and roots. Regardless of where they are, people strive to return home for family reunions, visiting and cleaning graves together, and enjoying meals as a family. Graves are tidied, fresh soil is added, symbolizing the living's respect for the departed. Traditionally, preparations for grave visits begin a day before Tết Thanh Minh. Offerings typically include various items such as paper representations of daily necessities, incense, candles, paper money, gold and silver, paper clothing, along with a variety of cakes, foods, and beverages, tailored to individual preferences and regional customs. The main task of grave visiting is to tidy up the graves of ancestors. On Thanh Minh Day, people bring shovels and hose to replenish the grave with soil, clear away weeds and wild plants that may cover the grave. and prevent wild animals such as snakes and rodents from making nests, as they believe it may disturb the spirits of the deceased. Afterward, offerings such as incense, burning gold paper, or placing flower bouquets are made to honor the departed souls. Besides well-maintained graves, there are also unattended ones, neglected by any visitors. Compassionate individuals often light incense, burn gold paper for these unattended graves. In areas with many unattended graves, a communal shrine called Am Chungsin is erected, where a medium performs rituals morning and night to honor these souls. On Thanh Minh Day, cemeteries become crowded and bustling. Elderly people take care of ancestral graves, while children accompany their parents or grandparents to visit graves, initially to familiarize themselves with the family's ancestral sites and later to learn the importance of honoring ancestors through this tradition. Even those who work far from home often return for this occasion, possibly a day or two earlier for various reasons, to visit their ancestors' graves and gather with family. In addition to these customs, Vietnamese people also have the tradition of making bánh trôi floating cakes and bánh chay, vegetarian cakes, followed by the entire family gathering to enjoy the rich flavors of these cakes. Thanh Minh reminds us of our homeland, our roots. The indelible mark of our homeland remains within each person, unfading over the years. Our homeland, our roots, are invaluable spiritual assets to each of us. If unable to return to our homeland during this Thanh Minh occasion, let us turn our hearts towards that sacred place, because our homeland accompanies us throughout our lives, leaving a profound imprint on each individual. Leading the way with a refined demeanor, horses and carriages, attire as smooth as silk. Meaning of Tết Thanh Minh for the Vietnamese people. Tết Thanh Minh is a time for descendants to turn towards the roots of their ancestors, even if they are far away. Families gather on this day to visit graves, then return home to enjoy a meal together. Well-maintained graves symbolize the sincere respect of descendants towards their ancestors. During Tết Thanh Minh, cemeteries become crowded, reflecting the cultural value of remembering the source deeply ingrained in Vietnamese society, teaching children to love, be filial, and cherish their parents and grandparents while they are alive, rather than waiting until they pass away, is an essential aspect of this tradition. The offerings for Tết Thanh Minh typically include meat, chicken, alcohol, and sausage. The altar offerings include sticky rice, chicken, bamboo shoot soup, stir-fried vermicelli, incense, flowers, candles, betel, gold money, and fruits. Outside the grave, when performing grave visiting rituals, the family arranges the offerings. Fruits and gold money are placed together, while salty offerings are placed separately. Then, incense and candles are lit, usually 1 or 3 sticks, avoiding to sticks and bowing 3 times to show respect before inviting ancestors to return and reciting prayers for Thanh Minh. After the incense burns out, people proceed to the family gravesite, light incense, and ask permission from their ancestors to tidy up. After completing the ritual offerings, everyone cleans up and makes the surroundings tidy. When 2/3 of the incense has burned, people may offer gratitude, request blessings, and leave at home. Performing Thanh Minh rituals at home requires attention to the following: cleaning the house thoroughly, especially the ancestral altar, Prepare offerings in advance for the ritual after grave visiting. Light incense and offer prayers. Similar to other worship rituals, it's essential to be sincere and maintain a respectful demeanor to honor ancestors. What not to do during Tết Thanh Minh. When visiting graves on Tết Thanh Minh, there are some considerations to avoid misfortune. Avoid stepping on other people's graves or disturbing offerings, especially for children and young adults, pregnant women, women menstruating, or those with weak joints should avoid visiting graves due to the cold atmosphere and negative energy. Taking photos for commemoration is discouraged in cemeteries, so limit photography in these areas. When tidying up graves, clean thoroughly and check for any pests to prevent snakes or rodents from entering. Avoid pointing or discussing other people's graves to prevent bad luck and show respect for the deceased. What to do during Tết Thanh Minh. Visiting the graves of grandparents and ancestors. Expressing gratitude and respect to previous generations. Cleaning and tidying the ancestral altar and the house to welcome ancestors respectfully. Performing Thanh Minh rituals both at the gravesite and at home. Showing filial piety and gratitude to ancestors. We hope through this video you've learned more about the origins and significance of Tết Thanh Minh, encouraging you to join your family in visiting graves to honor your ancestors. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel to delve deeper into our country's customs and traditions. Goodbye.